on the set of Jesus Take the Wheel, everybody kept forgetting that I had never done it before. I'd never made a video before, so I had no clue what I was doing. But eventually they'd be like, and, you know, we're rolling. I'm like, time out. What am I supposed to do here? Am I singing? Am I not? Am I looking around? Like, what am I doing? But they were all so nice, and it was a really great group of people to have my first video with. And I worked with them tons of times after that. But it was great. It was a fun experience. At the beginning of my career, you know, with Jesus Take the Wheel being so successful and, you know, being #1 for so long, I just thought that was the way it was. That's the way everybody makes a song and they all go to #1 and they all stay there for 6 weeks. So I really had nothing to compare it to. Now, of course, I know how difficult that is to achieve. But at the time, that was cool, awesome. I don't know what this means, but it sounds exciting.
Don't forget to remember me.
Don't Forget to Remember Me is definitely, it was just a song I picked because that's all the stuff I was going through in my life at the time, and I still do, you know, I still, you know, think of all the people that are really important in my life and how I talk to them on the phone more than anything. My mom was actually in that video, playing my mom, but she did wonderful, and it was great to have her around, and I just love singing that song every night on stage. It reminds me of home.
Maybe next time I'll think before he cheats.
Before He Cheats is actually one of the last songs I recorded for my first album. And I wasn't really sure about it because I'd never done a song like that. Obviously, I was new, and we just had Jesus Take the Wheel come out and all of that. So I was kind of worried that people wouldn't perceive it too well and they'd be like mad at me for doing this revenge type song. But it was so much fun, I couldn't not do it. So we went for it, and obviously it paid off. But it was just, it's so much fun to sing it every night. People know the words, everybody knows the words now, and they all sing along with it, and it's just a lot of fun to do. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing on my first album as far as the logistics of it and like how they put out singles and how I was supposed to promote them and all that stuff. I just was, you know, happy to make an album and go on tour, and after that it was everyone else's problem, and I just kind of tried to pay attention and learn from it. But yeah, I mean, now that I've made a few more albums, I know that releasing so many singles off of one album is a pretty rare thing. We still do a lot of singles per album, but that was the most, I think, on my first album. I love writing, but in the beginning I didn't know how good I would be at it. So being able to come up with So Small relatively early in, you know, sitting down trying to write for my second album, it felt really good, and it felt really good that that was my first single, and it felt really good that it went to #1. So off of that, I feel like I got a lot more confidence for future writing. Name, we were goofing around. We had written, you know, So Small with the same group of people, and we were just messing around, coming up with this funny story, and what if this happened, and what if this happened, and the next thing you knew, we had this really gritty, you know, fun song to sing that was slightly reminiscent of Before He Cheats, just in that it was attitude. But it was just so much fun, and I learned off of that one. I feel like a good sassy song just can't be beat. It's hard to find, and you can't beat it. It was difficult to put myself in a position that the characters in Just a Dream were in. I've never, you know, lost anyone really close to me that I was in love with, and I've never had to deal with that heartache. So, you know, trying to put myself in someone else's shoes, because there are definitely people out there that live this song. So it was difficult, but you know, I felt very rewarded after we pulled it off and made a video, and I sing the song, and you know, people really seem to connect with it, and they love the story, but they respect that this is someone's life somewhere. We always sit down before we make a video and try to figure out, you know, what we're gonna wear and what I'm gonna do and how it's gonna happen. And you know, I have a really fantastic stylist, and she just brings in a ton of stuff. And I try it all on, and we pick out together what looks good and what's gonna look good on camera. And Cowboy Casanova was just so much fun. You know, I had never worn anything like that with the bustier and like the corset things and the shorts and the fishnet. So it was just kind of a different Carrie, and it was fun to play a character and film it in New Orleans and just have this really cool vibe about the whole video. We had professional dancers for Cowboy Casanova. I am not a dancer, but I could throw in a couple things here or there to make it look like I was at least in sync with what they were doing. But they're the good ones. I just sing.
This is my temporary home.
Temporary Home was a song that most of it came to me like when I was at home getting ready to go write, and my husband had said, he was reading a book and it talked about the earth being our temporary home, and it's not the end, and he was like, you should write a song called Temporary Home. So I really didn't think that much of it, and kind of the next day 3 different stories kind of came into mind, and I went in that day to write and told him what I was thinking, and the next thing you knew, we had a song, and I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. I still don't think I'm super comfortable being in front of a large crowd. I'm a pretty shy, self-conscious person, so whenever I realize I'm on stage in front of that many people, I become very aware of my arms and my legs and what they're doing and how I look and how things, how they're seeing me. But most of the time you can just have fun with it. And they'll cheer no matter what you do. If you fall down, get back up, they'll scream like crazy. So it doesn't really matter as long as you have fun and they have fun. So Undo It was just all about capturing that tour feeling. And we had so many gadgets and gadgets on tour and just had a blast with it. So we thought, why not make the whole tour into like a 3.5-minute video.
If I told you that I realize you're all I ever want.
Randy Travis surprising me on stage at the Grand Ole Opry after singing I Told You So was I didn't know it was happening at all. I'm really good at detecting surprises and when people are planning things, and I had no clue he was going to be there. And he's just such a wonderful man. He lent me his song and let me sing his song, and we've gotten to sing it together a few times since then. But it was just so much fun being at the Opry and him being there supporting me and inviting me to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry. For that album, I really wanted to do a cover song, and sometimes you just want to bring back something that people might have tucked away back in their brain somewhere, a song that people love and recognize, and that you can make them realize how much they've missed it. So I was looking through my iTunes, and that song kind of jumped out at me, and the second I said it out loud, everybody got so excited, and we called Randy Travis and said, can I please sing your song? And he said, I would love that, and we let him hear it before it went on the album, and he was very supportive, and it's just such a beautiful song for a guy's and a girl's voice. So it's really great that we remade a song that was almost 20 years old. I definitely consider myself just to be kind of your small town girl next door. I'm lucky enough that I get to travel around now, so I've seen a lot and I've been able to do a lot, but deep down I'm still a small town girl.